Moving on in the implementation path for DPDP, today we are going to talk about the hidden exposure, the personal data that moves out to external vendors, and sometimes we don't even realize that. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you regularly see new content on privacy. And as I said, we are going to talk about the vendor risk that you have when you are sharing your personal data or personal data collected on your behalf as a data fiduciary with external vendors. The reality is that people, organizations, when it comes to privacy, are focusing on their internal systems, processes, employees, which is very important. Very important thing. So nothing wrong about it. Personal data does flow outside the organization is the second important thing that one should understand. Where does the risk lies then? The risk lies when you don't care about the data that has moved out of your organization. Ideally, you would say, I'm not even supposed to take care of it because it has been sent to someone. But have you protected your interest and the interest of the individuals whose data you have that you can rely on that external agency? These external agencies could be cloud platforms, HR systems, payment processors, CRM platforms, all SaaS tools, like marketing tools. You hire an agency and say, you kindly circulate emails on my behalf. They do it for you. IT service providers. So tools support these processes, and tools are not the ones who create the processes. That is something that you need to understand very well, that tools are there to support the processes, not to create them. Therefore, you need to understand that your processes themselves should be good enough that those tools are able to take care of your personal information. Vendor blind spots include organizations who sign vendor contracts, start using services, but they forget about the privacy oversight. They forget about handling personal data carefully when it goes outside the organization. And that's where the blind spot gets created. And the data risk continues to exist. Rather, I would say can increase because till the time the data was internal, you were a bit more careful about it. DPDP expects that organizations remain responsible even when the data has gone out of their environment. They need to be responsible for how their vendors are processing the personal data. They need to be responsible whether the vendors are using appropriate safeguard, reasonable security safeguards, whether the data misuse is prevented, role-based access, encryption, reasonable security safeguards, and careful sharing outside the organization. So if a vendor to a sub-vendor or a vendor, someone sharing it without caring for it, right? Responsibility does not appear when the data leaves the organization. We believe that it's gone out of our environment, so it is now under someone else's responsibility. Important thing is, have you made him responsible and accountable for it? So, what first step you should practically take is that you should focus on vendors who are handling your personal data, data that you collected from your customers, data that belongs to your own employees, financial data, identity data. Why have these been highlighted and put? There are so many personal data, and all organizations have a large variety of personal data. These are really sensitive personal data. Customer data impact can bring you bad reputation. Employee data can bring you bad reputation. Employee finance identity, you'll end up having a lot of sensitive personal data also. So you need to be extremely careful. Vendor oversight would look like something like, there's an issue with contract. You haven't even included that you need to make sure, or the vendor needs to make sure, that he follows the reasonable security safeguards provided under the provision of DPDP Act. Are you doing regular basic due diligence? At least due diligence, if not regular reviews, when you onboard a vendor? Is data being handled very, very carefully, clearly? Are there periodic reviews there? No need for complying or no need for getting committed to very big, complex infrastructure. The real fact that you have to remember is that breaches can happen and do happen through vendor systems also. And that is a part of your system. Vendor visibility is therefore very, very important, extremely critical when it comes to DPDP Act. So that's about the vendor risk with respect to DPDP Act. I hope you like the content of the video. Please press the bell and the like icon. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.